But you do know who did get a good addition today? Was the Miami Hurricanes added North Dakota State running back Charmar Brown, who, Joe, that a guy that you've covered in North Dakota State as you do cover the FCS, and you are a top 25 voter for the FCS. I'll just kick it over to you. What is Miami getting in running back Charmar Brown?
This is a super underrated pickup, man. I love this. Jamar Brown's not going to take over the primary carries. Like we're all smart enough to know this, that Miami has a pretty quality running back room. Fletcher has shown some signs of what he can capably be in this running back room. There has been good recruiting at that position. But Brown this past year for North Dakota State, Blake, was a rising star. He won the Jerry Rice Award, which was the award for the top FCS freshman in the country. He had 15 rushing touchdowns. And when you flip on the tape, you see a hard-ass runner. And I think that has worked well since Shannon Dawson took over as the offensive coordinators, having these physical, compact, muscly running backs that are just going to run through the line of scrimmage. I implore anyone to go check out my Twitter at Joe DeLeone. I put a short cut up together where he's just running 4 or 5 dudes over. He's carrying the pile, and then he breaks away, and then he gets caught from behind because he's kind of slow. This is not going to be a guy that is going to rush for 1,500 yards at the P4 level. He is going to be a guy that could end up having like 7-8 touchdowns at the end of the year because you bring him in goal line situations and he runs through some MFer's face. I just like his mentality. Having a hard, strong runner like this, you can't go wrong. Guys like this thrive in college football, and he's going to thrive in the ACC because there's going to be plenty of defenses that don't have defensive lines that can slow him down.
I do think everybody's looking for the next Cam Scattaboo after what happened last year. Right. That was the first thing that I thought of when this went down. Scattaboo's a better athlete than him, in my humble opinion, as of right now. But this kid's a freshman. And here's the thing. You're adding a kid that you can develop. Right. Like I feel like that we just saw – this is what I really feel like we saw, because this kid being a freshman, I feel like we just saw our first like minor league call up.
That's a good way of putting it.
You know what I mean? Like – because there have been guys that have transferred from the FCS, like I can name a couple of them, but they were always like upperclassmen, right? Like juniors, seniors, whatever. Maybe a redshirted sophomore or two, a true freshman. I really feel like I just saw a minor league addition, to put in a baseball pun there. Joe, I think he's got really damn good vision. The way that he cut, like he reminded me of a poor man's Arian Foster when it came to the way that he cut, right? Like I love when you had like the old school Madden and you could be a running back and you'd be a one cut back because your change of direction was like at 99 and you could just hit the hole and you're gone. Mm-hmm. This kid does not have elite speed. He's 5'11", 215 plus, maybe 220.
4'7" kid, maybe.
Oh, and I don't even think he's got elite speed. I think he's got average speed.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's not going to blaze it. But here's the thing where I was going with this. He doesn't have to have a carry this year. You should not expect him to necessarily do that. Joey gets to go in there and develop. And I think that's the thing that, like when you talk about minor leagues, when you talk about like getting called up in a way, I think you're right. He can come in some goal line situations and pound the rock for you. Like I think of the situation at Georgia with your new quarterback in Miami, Carson Beck. I think about LSU in 2022. I think about Florida State, right, and in 2023 and the way that they did things when they ran the football. All of those teams that ran the football effectively in either which way, they always had a guy that could carry the ball at the goal line, and that's why they scored a lot. I could see that. He does have a really damn strong vision, and I think that's his best quality, and that's something that you just can't teach. You know what else I can teach? I could teach him to lose a little bit of weight, maybe get a little bit leaner, maybe not weight necessarily, but get leaner. He's going to be in a better overall facility where he can do that. I think he can become more explosive, but the way that he scored a lot of this, like I was watching your film today, the Missouri State run, that had nothing to do with pure athleticism. Nothing. It had everything to do with vision. He made 2 cuts in and out, and he was gone. Now, he was getting run down by a defensive lineman, but other than that, he made it look very easy from a vision standpoint. if this kid can develop, get bigger, get leaner, but while getting stronger, I think that he could really add in Miami. But here's the thing. He doesn't have to do it this year. You're getting a freshman. That's the point, or you're getting a sophomore, technically, I guess. He can be an addition, but at the same time, it's not like that he comes in and you're in a situation he's got to go now. But, man, if this is like your second or third string running back, holy shit. Like that, I love it. The kid's got elite vision.
I really think he's going to contribute a little more than you're suggesting here, but I understand what you're saying. You already have Jordan Lyle.
Everything else is lagniappe. How about what I'm trying to say is everything else is filet mignon. Everything else is etouffee. Everything else is lagniappe. Whatever he gives you is a bonus.
Right. You already have Mark Fletcher. You have Jordan Lyle listed as your 2 deep. Having a third running back like this that was this productive is significant. I think that just general play style is just a nice little piece to add to a team that is going to run the ball a shitload this year. I think that we know that their offensive line's already going to be great. I think what intrigues me, though, for this upcoming season is that they lost a lot of receivers. They're bringing in Carson Beck, who's coming off of the elbow. I really think that despite being an air raid team, that they're going to focus on running the football. I think that their approach is going to be, hey, we are going to try and ground out every single team that we play. You don't have 3 big body running backs like this if you don't have that intention. You don't think that you're going to be trying to grind out who you're going up against. And you got 3 freshman receivers coming in that are listed in your 2 deep right now. I don't know if that ends up forming that way after fall camp comes up, but having experience and production at running back has caught my attention. I've heard a lot of people say this offseason with Miami that the receiver room does not do enough to excite them. And I point at the running back room to say, I don't know if they need to really throw the ball that much because they're going to be running all over everybody that they face.
I'll just say this, but I gotta say this. You're going to have to throw the football in these big games, though.
Yeah, well, that's what you have Carson back for. He's got guys that aren't going to just be dropping every single pass.
How's that elbow?
Well, we got to figure that out.
Right. I do agree with you on this. Here's the ironic thing. They got away from it so much. I don't know if I'm buying in yet until I see Shannon Dawson do that. Joe, I've told you this story 1,000 times. I've said it on here 1,000 times. Shannon comes from the same college offense that we ran. He was a running back. Here's the ironic part of it. He was the running backs coach at Southeastern. And think of the guys that came out of there, the coordinators, Pete Golding, you have Shannon Dawson that's there. Rhett Lashley was there for a little bit as a GA, and then he left. There's been so many different situations there. I will tell you this. We had a guy named Jay Lucas, who was at Texas A&M, came to Southeastern. He reminds me of Jay Lucas. This kid all of you old heads will remember this. He's a one-cut back. He is now. I just don't know yet. I do think the premise that you're coming at is right. I need to see Shannon do that. I've never seen any one of those guys run the ball like that ever. Name one. I can't think of any that now are in the P4. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But look, we'll see. They do need to run the football though. And here's the thing: defensively in that secondary where they got cooked a year ago. God, remember how much Miami fans hated my ass last year because I kept saying that? Regardless, you might be able to control the game a little bit more. And that's where I feel like that they lost a lot of games. They let the game get out of control. Even though they're scoring, they never had control of the game. Even though you had Damian Martinez. Sometimes you don't need to go shot for shot with somebody. You remember Rocky 2? You remember the movie Rocky 2? Remember when Apollo Creed's trainer was like, stop going shot for shot with him. Stay away, jab him, and let's get out of here. Run the ball, to your point. You can control the game in a little bit about like this too. So to your point, if they do that, it would be a big deal. I
will say but I like that point that the times it felt like Hey, why aren't you just running the ball?
You've admired me. You have said that I'm right on takes today.
Shut up. Okay.
Hell is freezing over right now.
You've made points that made sense. It's a shocking occurrence, okay? So when it happens, I have to give you credit.
Jesus.
Yeah, there were a couple of games where it felt like they had a chance to just kind of grind it out and slow it down. And we criticized them for not just like controlling the clock. You've got big ass Damian Martinez back there. You've got Fletcher. Just run the ball. I think that they're going to be able to do that more. I think that there's more self-awareness. I will say one thing that was an interesting layer to this. Charmar Brown enters the portal. He's projected to go to Cal. Cal loses 4 running backs.
5.
5. The report was that they gave Brown time to decide, and then they told him he was taking too long, that he took too long. That was the report that came out today.
How about that?
And they moved on. And after that, I was like, man, I wonder where he goes. Originally, when he was projected to go to Cal, I was thinking like, oh, that's kind of lame. Cal's not going to really be that great this year. As soon as I saw the Miami projection and then the commitment, I immediately tweeted out, I'm like, shit, this is great. This is perfect. But the one thing that caught my eye, though, with that is like, what the hell is going on with Harsin? Are they going to have a tight end running the football next year? Like, what the shit are they doing?
Bro, he's one of the
he's scaring all the hoes. Like, what the hell is he doing? Like, seriously. Like, I say that in jest, but like, that's the vibe. He's scaring everyone away. No one wants to play for him. What the hell is he doing?
Oh, buddy. I 1000% am clipping that and putting that on social media. Brian Harsin is the kind of coach that scares away all the hoes. He's the guy that scares away all the hoes at the party.
Yeah, he's your buddy that you invite,
dude. But here's
he shows up, and then all the girls go to the opposite side of the room. That's who he is.
But dude, to your point though, man, he really kind of is. That whole Auburn situation was so bad that, bro, he had 4 guys. What happened? What happened? This can't be all on him, right? Like, this has got to be other situations involved in this. This can't just be one guy.
I would think the fact that this has kind of happened twice. I mean, every time he shows up somewhere, it's like, huh. It's do you watch I Think You Should Leave? You know, the
I don't know.
Well, there's the one where the guy's wearing the meme where the guy's wearing the hot dog costume and he's saying like, gee, I wonder who did this. I hope we can find the guy who did this. And it's him. He's the one who's responsible for everything. We keep questioning like, hey, what's causing all these problems? Oh, maybe it's the same guy that happens to have the problems following him every time he shows up